Dina, thank you so much for being here. And
Thank
I
you
wanted,
so much.
yeah,
Thanks so much for having me.
you're so welcome. I wanted to give you a proper introduction. So, you guys, Dina is a digital nomad coach. I found her originally from literally typing in digital nomad coach on Google. So, just want to let you know, Dina, you're killing it with the SEO game. She's coming up on the first page of Google. So, you're killing it in
Yeah.
business. I love what you're doing. I love how you are showing people how they can become a digital nomad, people that have business ideas, maybe people that don't have business ideas, and just showing them how they can. And a part of what Allison was saying is like release these attachments and like live in a more of a flow state
Yeah.
and be more minimalist, to be honest. And I tell us where you're calling from. Tell us a bit about you and more about what you're doing with like digital nomad coaching and like what your
Okay.
journey, what your life looks like right now.
So at the moment, I'm in Wales. When COVID happened, it was a nightmare for me. I got stuck in Malaysia and I overstayed my visa. So they basically made me stay in Malaysia until there were flights.
Okay.
So I had to stay an extra 3 months in Malaysia, and but they kept me in an immigration center.
What?
Yeah, because I wasn't legally allowed to be in the country because my visa had expired.
Mm.
But yeah, so it was a nightmare. So then when I left Malaysia finally after that nightmare, I came to Wales, bought a property, and now I'm a part-time nomad. So I used to travel full time and I did that for about 4 or 5 years. And now I have a base and I travel from my base whenever I want. So last year I was in Mexico for a month and I traveled to Italy, Egypt, Germany, Spain, Portugal. So I do travel a lot, but now I have a base and it's quite nice to have things and not live out of a suitcase all the time. So yeah,
And how did that serve you for at first, like the digital nomad life? How
I
and
loved it.
what was so great about it? Because we always see people on Instagram. Like, tell us about what it's really like.
So it's amazing. I'm a slow mad. I'm not sure if you know what that is, but basically someone who
Nomad.
travels slow.
So
So I'll use my tourist visa and then stay until the last day, which is why Malaysia happened. And then I'll move to the next place. I've traveled all across Europe, I've traveled all across Asia, and now I'm dipping my toe into Central and South America.
wow. So you're doing the tourist visa like hack. So you basically
Yeah.
get into a country, which I'm not familiar with what Wales is, what your guys' tourist visa looks like. Is it 3 months most of the time? Or each country is different?
So it's a bit like the ESTA for America, where you get a visa for maybe 2 years, and
Oh,
then you can only be in the country for 90 days. And then
yes.
you have to leave, and then you can go back on the same visa because the visas for the UK and America are quite it's like a long process and it can be quite expensive. So yeah, I travel on tourist visas. I've never done the digital nomad visa yet, but I was thinking about moving to Canada, and then I was going to do Experience Canada, which was where you get to live there for 2 years and you can live and work. But then I ended up just carrying on being a nomad, and I really like the freedom that I get from running an online business, which is what I help people do.
That is so cool. And what did it look like for you? Like, because I really want you to paint a picture of like
Okay.
what happened on your day to day. Like, it sounds really almost on one spectrum, it can sound very stressful and all over the place. But on the other side, it can sound like there's a lot of enriching experiences that will happen from it. What was your experience? Like, who did you meet? What happened? How was it not like stressful?
Um, well, I'm the kind of person that likes to move around and I get bored being in the same place, and I like being able to travel freely and go and meet different people and stay in different places. So I really like staying in hostels. even at the age of 33, some people who are digital nomads now, they'll never stay in hostels because they don't like sharing rooms. But I find it's a really nice way to meet people. And then I'll go and work from my laptop in like a co-working space or a cafe.
Nice.
So as some of the other speakers said, you've got to have a routine. So I work 4 days on, 3 days off, and I work from 12 till 5 every day, Monday to Thursday. And then in the evenings, I can go out and hang out with the friends that I've met in the hostel. And in the morning, I can have a hangover if I've got a hangover.
Nice.
I can't hear you.
That. I love that. I mean, it sounds really freeing. I also agree that especially when people are just going to a place for the first time, honestly, doesn't matter your age, that a really nice way to get to know a new place can be the hostel. Hostels aren't what people think. People think, oh, it's this gross, like common hotel. It's not like that. Some of the coolest projects are being opening up, like, Selena.
Yeah, Selena's amazing.
That's in Tulum, that's in Mexico. I mean, they're all over. They're like luxurious hostels. And what it is, it's just like this beautiful modern, like it's like a co-living space, but you can get private rooms. The whole point is that it generates community. So like, how are you able, Dina, to find community in all of these places that you go to?
So firstly, I've got a community on Facebook of 5,000 people. So I've met a few people around the world through my Facebook group. I obviously stay in hostels, and then I travel with people through the people that I've met in the hostels. I also go on Facebook groups and say, does anyone want to hang out? I go on Meetup and meet people who have similar interests to me. And then I sometimes do like tours and stuff like that, so I can go hiking in the mountains, and then just meet people who are also on the same tour.
Wow. So you do so many activities too. So is it mostly activities during the week, or you save that for the weekends, would you say?
So if there's morning hikes, I'll go and do that, and then I'll work in the afternoon, because I find that I'm most productive in the afternoons after I've had like something that's like going to the gym or something in the morning to make me active. And then I do work. And then in the evening, I'll stay up and have a few drinks, have some nice food, go out, speak to the locals. And yeah, that tends to be my favorite way to live.
I love that. What about the language? And then I want to transition. So don't worry, it's coming, you guys, but like, how can you be a digital nomad? What do you need to put together right now so that you can be a digital nomad? We're going to get to that. But the language part, like, has that ever impacted you? Because I know some people are like, oh, I don't want to move to a country where they're very nervous about that. Like, how have you navigated that?
Well, I dated a guy who was French and could speak Spanish.
Nice.
So I can only speak English, unfortunately. So when we were in Morocco, he could kind of speak Spanish where people, speak French where people couldn't speak English. So I kind of let him lead me around. And then in Spain as well, he could speak Spanish. So that kind of worked out.
But it doesn't make you nervous to like not know the language when you're traveling?
I love it. I love being able to express myself and be like, do you have tea? And then like they go, yeah, tea, I know tea. And then you can kind of like laugh with them, and then have like really fun experiences.
I totally resonate with that. It's almost like you're playing. It's like you're a kid.
Yeah.
That's what happened when I went to Italy. We were on the boat cruise and I was trying to figure out, like, I was trying to talk to them because I speak Spanish, but it was broken. But it was so cool because it just created this like connection. If you guys have had experiences like that and you resonate with this playful, that's connection right there. Put me in the chat, because I think that's one of the most beautiful things about what you're doing, Dina, and like what we're trying to get you guys to do. Who knows? Maybe you don't want to be a digital nomad that's going, 3 months here, 3 months there. It's wonderful. And we would recommend trying it. But if that's not your route, that's okay. And I'm like you, Dina, where I had a home base in Barcelona. And so the weekends I would go do my travels, or I would go for like a week there, a week here. So there's a lot of different ways to do it, but it's all essentially the same. Tell us, how can somebody best prepare? And like, I know you help people with this. Like, people come to you because they're like, I want to live your life. Like, how can I do this? Show me the ropes. What do you
Yeah.
suggest for people that want to start doing this in 2023?
So firstly, I want to say, in my coaching, for the first session that I speak to people, I always ask them what type of nomad do they want to be? Do they want to be a full-time nomad, a part-time nomad? Do they want to have a base in Portugal and another base in Brazil? Do they want to spend half their time in Amsterdam and half their time in Bali? So we talk about all of these things to try and get a big picture of what type of life that they want, because I feel like that's even more important than your job sometimes, like figuring out the type of life that you want. But what my bread and butter is, my specialty is helping people start up businesses based on their strengths, personality, and interest. So although there are some coaches out there that specialize in a job role that they teach, I kind of work in a very bespoke one-to-one way where I help people figure out whether they want to be a graphic designer or a translator or work in cybersecurity or become a social media manager or become a web developer. And then together, we work together week by week to build their business, have an idea of who their ideal client is, and also like figure out the type of life that they want, and build a business from that.
Okay, cool. So you're also helping people like put their ideas into reality.
Yeah, but
So
I also specialize in helping people figure out who they are and what they want. My background is in psychology. So I did a master's in business psychology, and I actually started off as a life coach.
nice.
So I was helping people figure out their type of life in London, but I had a lot of creative entrepreneurs coming to me for my help. And then I kind of shifted into business because I've had a few businesses since the age of 19. And
What have those
yeah,
been? That's so interesting. What have those
so
businesses been?
when I was 19, I started up a charity fundraising business
Mm.
where I raised around 10 grand for charities, Macmillan Cancer, Link Community Development, building schools in Africa. So I started off doing that. Then I worked as a freelance event manager. So I was working for myself, but working all across the UK, managing events, which was pretty cool, but it didn't have much money. So I went into the corporate world for 2 years, hated my life. I was making money, but it was not for me. I was in a job where the values were totally different. So I left and said, I'm never going to work for a company again. Went to uni, did my master's in business psychology and a diploma in life coaching, set myself up as a coach. And I also started up a corporate wellbeing business. So going into organizations, putting on yoga, massage, coaching, and dance classes to try and liven up the corporate place. But then Brexit happened and I was like, I'm going to travel. And then my coaching business kind of morphed into digital nomad coach. And anyone who has a business should probably do a Varies copywriting course and learn how to do SEO.
Amazing. What? Oh, Avery's. Yeah.
Avery, yeah.
To learn how to, do SEO
Because
for your business.
yeah, do it for yourself. So if you start up a business, you can learn how to write on your website and get it up there on Google.
Because that's how I found you. I mean, you're literally
Yeah,
on the top page of Google for the keywords that I typed in,
yeah,
which is so cool. And this is resonating a lot with people. I know Ian says such an interesting life, really insightful. So I agree. I think it's so cool what you're doing. And it just, I see that you're just like not scared. You're just all in for life. And who else is commenting here? Like Leanne, you're such an inspiration. Dina, so much experience. And it's so cool. It's really awesome that you're here. So thank you for being here for everybody. And
for having me.
Yeah. Do you have a link to your Facebook group? Because in my notes, I was trying to paste it, and Katina or Violet told me that I pasted the wrong link, which was your Instagram. Um,
Oh,
if
okay.
you have the Facebook group, you don't have to grab it now, but if you have it on hand, feel free to
Oh,
paste it in the chat.
I've just found it.
It's the 5,000 plus Facebook group, and like there's all sorts of digital nomad people living
People
up.
post jobs, people post places to stay that are cheap.
Okay.
People post different experiences, their jobs. They're looking for friends, they're looking for people to travel with. There are some retreats in there. So it's a really cool group.
Okay, hold on. I think you sent that to me directly. Let me paste it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to put it to everyone right now. Okay, perfect. You guys have it now. So that's really cool. Some of these digital nomad communities, I mean, you've basically created like a community online. They have, like what we said, the job postings. Some people are hiring on their digital nomad businesses. So yours is helping others achieve their goals, but it looks different for everybody, right? Like what are some of the other types of people that you're working with to help them become?
So I'm helping, well, I've got one person who's a dog trainer,
Okay.
and we're currently building a business course for dog trainers. So helping people in Buffalo create like start LLC businesses for their dog training.
Nice.
And now we're working on his second business. So she's going to do marketing for dog trainers. So she's got a very specific niche, and
Right.
she knows people who she can sell to. And all you need is 4 clients paying you $1,000 a month to make $4,000 a month.
Wow.
That's all you need, 4 clients. So anyone can start up a service-based business and become a digital nomad and travel and have that freedom. Work from home, work from a cafe, work from a hotel, anyone.
Yeah.
And
And
all you need is one skill,
which is what?
just one skill:
Oh,
graphic
oh,
design, web design, social media management, cybersecurity.
and you can learn all that. That's the thing is
Yeah.
my journey was I had a neck injury and I didn't want to work in an office. So I went on YouTube and I taught myself how to do web design. Shout out to Ferdy Korperschik from Netherlands. I binge watched his YouTube videos and built my first website for a client watching free YouTube videos. So yeah, it's possible, guys. And it
Yeah.
was all from Barcelona. I taught myself in Barcelona how to do that. And we have some questions, Dina. So is there a resource to find other digital nomads that are hiring right now who need help with their businesses? Violet asked this. I would say to start connecting and not being scared, and like going in Facebook groups, adding yourself, start answering questions, identify who are the people that have online businesses, and just start messaging them. Even voice note. What would you say, Dina?
I would say do exactly that. Figure out who your niche is and who you want to work with. Do you want to work with well-being businesses? Do you want to work with yoga schools? Do you want to work with travel agents? And then start emailing them and say, hey, I'm really interested in working with you. I can help you with your copywriting. Here's some examples. And if you give me a few emails, I'll show you my vision and how I can improve and tell you how I can improve. Yeah, you can just put yourself out there and talk to the people that you wanna get to know.
So to add on that, it's like you have a genuine conversation, just like we're talking, Dina and I. You would say like, hey, I love what you're doing. Figure out some connection of like, well, I saw your post about this. I really resonated with it. Would love to connect because I think there's a lot of similarities we have, and I'm just trying to expand my network. Do you have you have 5 to 10 minutes next week to jump on a call? Boom. Most people, I would say like 2, 3 out of 10 of the people that you ask will say yes, and they'll jump on a call with you. I would say that's a good average. And it's numbers, it's the numbers game. You gotta reach out to people in order to get responses. Not everybody's gonna respond, but you have to add them as a friend and then message them. Thank you so much, Dina. It's been a pleasure. I want to introduce you to Sophia, who's coming on next from Live and Invest Overseas. I wanted to
Can I
introduce
just
you.
can I
Yeah, go
just say
ahead.
one more thing? So
Yes.
one thing that you will get from this 30-minute call with me is if you have no idea what type of job you want to do and what your options are, we will carefully go through different options for you. So then you have some idea of the different types of jobs that you can do. So it's really good for people who are like, I want to be a digital nomad, but I have no skills and I'm not techie and I'm not able to do this on my own. And then I'll just say, well, you could start a recruitment company, you could be a translator, you could be a graphic designer or a web developer.
Amazing.
So
And thank you so much, Dina, for sharing that. I wanted to introduce you to, though, before Dina hopped off. Sophia, please meet Dina. You guys are both, I believe, UK Wales based. So there might
oh,
be a
really?
connection there.
Great.
Yes, I'm in London.
You're in
So
London.
in the
Oh,
UK,
okay.
yeah.
I'm in Cardiff
Oh, nice.
at the
Wow.
moment, but I'm gonna go to Italy next month.
Oh, lovely. That'll be amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dina, for being here. And if everybody can give her a silent round of applause, we really appreciate your time. Okay, see you soon, Dina.